According to the teaching staff, the inmates here have trouble responding to authority, being a member of a team, and accepting criticism. Now, what one activity can improve them in all these areas?
So you want to start a football team?
Exactly.
Your neck is way, way out on this.
Now, there is no mistaking that man. He is the former People's Champ and current star of the new movie Gridiron Gang. It is very good. It hits theaters Friday. Please welcome in Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Dwayne, good to see you again.
Good to see you, too.
We'll talk more about the movie in just a little bit. I want to say I enjoyed it a great deal.
Thank you.
We'll talk about the story, but first let's pick up our Miami conversation. We didn't really talk about the troubles at Miami this year.
Yeah.
You hate losing to anybody, especially early, but to Florida State. Where do things stand right now at Miami?
Well, here's the thing. I think, number one, what you got to realize is that team's sick over that loss, you know, and I thought they'd bounced back. They played well against FAMU. And I wouldn't have had it. They get a lot of grief for opening up the season like that, especially with Florida State, but I wouldn't have had it any other way. They went out there. I thought they got outplayed in the second half. They realized their mistakes, and now it's time to step up. And those guys realize, look, Coker and his staff had a great plan put together. You know, they just flat out got outplayed in the second half. So I think that learn from that, continue to stay focused, and see what kind of rest of the season they have.
Yeah, we went back and into our video vault, and we found a clip of your playing days at Miami. I want to show you this play, and I want to ask you what you remember about it. This is Dwayne sacking who?
Sacking Charlie Ward. Here's the thing, you know, that year he won the Heisman, and you know nobody was able to get to him. So I got to him, came around. You know, and it's because of this play that Charlie decided to play basketball.
I believe
so
it.
New York has to thank me for Charlie Ward.
It's also because of that play that he decided against a career in pro wrestling.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no football, no wrestling. But Charlie's a good guy.
Now, you quit pro wrestling not too long ago. Superstars in sports retire so they can unretire. What would it take to bring you back to the ring?
Really nothing. You know, I have no plans on going back to the ring. I was able to accomplish a lot in wrestling, and I love that business because I grew up in it. My grandfather, my dad were wrestlers.
Do you miss it?
Well, I miss the live crowd interaction.
Yeah,
for sure, because there's nothing like that. I was able to go out every week and perform in front of thousands of people, always keeping you on your toes, keeping you sharp. But I was able to accomplish a lot, and I knew about 4 years ago, I knew then that it was time for me to move on, and I wanted different challenges in my life. Yeah,
and you've hit them right head on, and they've done very well with them. There was, last night from a baseball game, there was a bit of a smackdown broke out. Let's roll this tape from the Royals-Indians last night. This is the pitcher, Renelvis Hernandez, going at it with his own catcher, John Buck. A little teammate smackdown. Now, judge their skills there.
Nice. Well, who was on the left? Was that John Buck?
That was the catcher, John Buck.
Well, he got us in.
Yeah.
You know, that's what happens. If you step to a guy like John Buck, you better be prepared to pack a lunch.
That's right. They didn't drop a promo though. If they did, I couldn't hear him. I don't know what they were saying.
I'm sure it was expletive after expletive.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
How about that? Teammates going at it.
I know.
All right, let's talk about Gridiron Gang. It hits movies theaters on Friday. It is based on an Emmy Award-winning documentary. It is a true story. What you see on the film actually took place. What made you want to do this movie?
Well, number one, I resonated with the story. I was one of these kids, multiple arrests by the time I was 17. I was lucky I had somebody in my life who cared about me. I was also lucky that it was my arresting officer who said, I want you to go out and play football for your freshman high school football team. I didn't learn my lesson. I continued to get in trouble. But as you get older, you start to realize the importance of not only having somebody in your life who cares, but you also understand the importance of sports and what sports does for a kid like that, what sports did for me, specifically what football did for me in terms of commitment and sacrifice and get me in a team environment, things like that. And that's worldwide. Those are those immeasurable values, I think, that are great and important to our kids.
Yeah. One of my favorite moments in the film is when you put on the pads.
Yeah, me too.
At practice. What was that like for you to strap on a helmet again?
That was great. You know, the last time I put on pads, I was up in the CFL playing with Doug Flutie. So I was able to get in there, you know, kick all kinds of ass over the field that day, even though he was a kid.
Yeah, that's right. You didn't hold back.
No, and he didn't either. So it was good. It was a lot of fun.
What was it like working with Exhibit, who is also very good in the film?
He's great. You know, the thing about Exhibit is, you know, here's a guy who comes from the hip-hop world where it's not the coolest or the most conventional thing to laugh and joke, but here's a guy who can laugh at himself, by the way, takes himself takes what he does extremely serious, does a great job in the movie, and I think he's got a bright future in acting if he wants to. He could do comedy, he could do drama, and he's a committed guy, and he's a smart guy, too.
Yeah, and it's obvious the two of you had great chemistry. Yeah. Dwayne, good luck with the film.
Thank you so much.
It looks like a hit. It really does. It's a nice message movie, and if you love football, it's a can't miss. Thanks a lot, Dwayne.
Appreciate
Appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
Now, Gridiron Gang opens everywhere in theaters later this week on Friday.